Well, guys, it's finally time for me to review the movie that we were all just waiting to see, and we just wanted to see it. Yeah, probably no one wanted to. Hey guys, it's Kevin again, and this is going to be an epic rant. Oh my god. I didn't give two shits about this movie. I didn't give two shits going into it. I remember nothing about the first one. This is going to be my epic rant, well, movie review / epic rant, for Paul Blart Mall Cop 2. And guys, I had literally no interest in this movie. I remember, this is very rare, I have to say this. You know, this is something that you guys can be like, I don't really care, but you know when I know this movie is bad? When I'm in the theater, I think I saw Jupiter Ascending with my dad, and we both look at each other, and we just went, no. That never happens. Usually he either really wants to see something and I don't, or I really want to see something and he doesn't. That's when I knew this movie was going to be shit. And let me even remind you guys, the first one was never that good. The first one was an okay movie with some subpar, you know, maybe funny moments to it. Nothing that memorable, though. Nothing that I look back and I'm like, you know what, Paul Blart Mall Cop, that was a quality movie right there. And after watching Paul Blart Mall Cop 2, I had no interest in it. I heard many people say it was the worst movie of the year, maybe one of the worst sequels of all time. And I have to say, this might be the most unnecessary sequel I have ever seen in my life, honestly. I will tell you guys how bad this movie is. Don't watch this movie. I heard people in my school talking about Paul Blart Mall Cop 2. I want to tell them it's terrible, but I don't really want to do that because I don't want to get in like a fight with anyone or something who actually likes the movie. Which, if you do like this movie, fine, but oh my god, guys, everything about this movie is fucking terrible. It's by far the most unnecessary sequel I've ever seen. And just from the first two scenes, you know it's gonna be terrible. From the second this movie starts, you know it's gonna be bad. I'm not even gonna tell you guys spoilers here. I don't even care. There are spoilers in the first minute of this movie. We all remember that girl he got married to at the end of the first movie, played by Jamie Mays. I kind of liked their relationship. It was a cute part of the movie. I thought they had good chemistry. Well, she divorces him 6 days later. Literally 6 days after they get married in the beginning of this movie. And then not a scene later, his mom is hit by a milk truck. And there's no time for him to, like, reflect. There's no time for us to feel bad. Because then we cut to shit we don't care about. Because basically, we cut to, I don't know how many months later, and his daughter's going off to college. She wants to get into, like, UCLA. He doesn't want her to go because he's a protective father, which is understandable. But he gets accepted to basically, he gets a letter inviting him to a security officers convention in Las Vegas. He is a New Jersey mall cop. That is like if someone from my mall, who probably no one gives two shits about because who cares about mall cops, was told to go to some sort of weird convention in Las Vegas. And that's literally the plot of this movie. And then there's all kinds of shit that happens, and that's the plot of Paul Blart Mall Cop 2. It's a stupid plot. It has nothing to do with the first movie. It pretty much tells us, fuck the first movie. Fuck the first movie. Fuck everything that made the first movie good. Let's just not even care with this movie, because I don't think anyone actually cared. I don't think anyone cared watching this movie, and you can tell the people who made it, they don't really care about this movie. And there's so much shit I can talk about that made this movie just so bad. First of all, the acting in this movie. Oh my god, the acting is terrible here. Kevin James, I will admit, he is trying. He is. He has this narration at the beginning of the movie where he's trying, but every joke just falls flat, honestly. And it's understandable why. May I mind you, Paul Blart Mall Cop was made 6 years ago. It came out 6 years ago, and it took 6 years for this movie to come out. And I'm pretty sure Kevin James, he co-wrote this movie. He wanted to make this movie. Okay, I can understand that. But you could at least made a decent script. And nothing about him is funny. Nothing about him he doesn't even have good comedic timing in this movie. Something feels off about this movie. Kevin James seemed tired throughout. He didn't even seem like he really cared. Kevin James is trying to act like this movie's so much better than it is. Like, there's so many times where they make it seem like this is the most epic thing ever, what Paul Blart's saying, and they're making it hilarious. And there's one scene where Paul Blart gives this huge speech, and it's not even memorable because it's just like, yeah, no shit, obviously. It's like, if we want to do something, we have to do something about it. It's like, yeah, no shit, you have to do something about it. Like, what the fuck do you think? I'm not stupid. Like, the movie treats you like you're an idiot, and that's really dumb. I understand it's a kid's movie, but kids wouldn't even like this movie. I don't think kids would want to see it after their mom gets hit by a fucking milk truck. There's nothing funny about that. And I thought Kevin James just sucked in this movie. Neil McDonough. Oh my god, Neil McDonough. I didn't see a point for him in this movie. He plays the villain in this movie. I didn't even see a point for him to be in this movie. The second his character comes on screen, I'm like, the only reason they did that is because they had a villain in the first one. They need a villain for this movie. Literally, he didn't even need to be there. When he came in, I was just like, I'm done. I'm done with this movie. I mean, the second his mom get hit by a milk truck, I was done. But when he came on the screen, I'm just like, I'm done. I don't want to watch anything else in this movie. I don't even care. And then, of course, because the first movie had a love interest, we have to have this one have a love interest. Daniella Alonso as Davina. Nothing interesting as her character. Great job from stealing from the originals, by the way, Paul Blart. I mean, I've never heard the name Davina anywhere but the originals, so great job from stealing from that. Her character's pointless, she's boring, she's not that attractive, and I didn't like her at all. David Henry is an idiot in this movie. I hated his character. He's a good actor. I've seen him in Wizards of Waverly Place. He actually is good on that show. But he sucks in this movie. His character is a dumbass. Like, literally, they talk about how he has 3 GEDs. It's so stupid. And then Rainey Rodriguez as Maya. She's the daughter that you're supposed to, you know, have some heartwarming moments with and he cares about. And the first movie, what did her character consist of? Him calling her on the phone because he's using his daughter's cell phone and her boyfriend keeps calling her. That's literally all the first movie consisted of. There wasn't much that was going to happen with this movie. Honestly, I didn't give 2 shits about her character. I didn't give 2 shits about her college storyline. I found her annoying. I found her boring. I found the fact that Paul Blart is overprotective of her obvious. I just found it stupid and I found it really fucking annoying. That one was really that good in this movie. The directing by Andy Fickman. What the hell was up with this directing? Because first of all, they portray this movie as like Paul Blart's like redemption movie. Because the beginning is literally him talking about this narration about his wife divorced him and how his mom got hit by a milk truck. And then suddenly, oh, we're just gonna ignore that. We're gonna ignore everything that happened. And the direction they went in was absolutely atrocious. Some of the worst directing of the year by far. I hated the directing to this movie. The worst part of this movie though is the writing. I don't even want to talk about how bad the writing is, but I'm going to. There is so much that I have to say with the writing. Also, this, of course, was co-produced by Adam Sandler and fucking Happy Madison Productions, which, can we shut that shit down already? They don't make good movies. I'm gonna look at their filmography right now, and I'm gonna tell you guys, they've never made a good movie. Let's look at their filmography, because I need to see if they've ever made some sort of a good movie, because they're stupid. And the only reason Happy Madison exists is because of Happy Gilmore and Billy Madison. This, you know, this movie in general wouldn't have sucked as much as it did. It's that simple. So, I'm going to look at Happy Madison Productions. I'm going to tell you guys, we're going to look at Happy Madison Productions right now. Okay, what have they made? What have they made that's actually been good? Deuce Bigalow, Male Gigolo, Little Nicky, The Animal, Joe Dirt, Mr. Deeds, Master of Disguise, best movie ever, totally best movie ever. I mean, it just gets panned on constantly. 8 Crazy Nights, okay, that movie's good. 8 Crazy Nights is fine. The Hot Chick, Anger Management, Dickie Roberts, former child star, 51st Dates, which is okay. Longest Yard, I heard, is okay. Deuce Bigalow, European Gigolo, Click I Love, but let's look at the movies they've made now. Let's go away from like those movies and talk about the movies they made after Paul Blart Mall Cop and after 2009. Grown Ups, just go with it. Zookeeper. Jack and Jill. These are from the same people that made Jack and Jill. What did you think this movie was going to be? What did you think? That's My Boy. Here Comes the Boom. Grown Ups 2. Blended, which I heard was okay. And now Paul Blart Mall Cop 2. And they're also making Pixels, which I have to say does look kind of promising, but only because Chris Columbus is directing it. That's really the only reason. What do I even need to say? The directing here fucking sucks. It's terrible. Andy Fickman, he does not know what he's doing here. He's terrible. The writing here is some of the worst stuff I've seen. They think that all these fat jokes and a guy getting punched constantly, they think that they're funny. They're never funny. Every Happy Madison movie with Kevin James, they try to make this funny. It's never funny. Nothing about this movie was funny. There was not one time I laughed. Not one time. Honestly, not one time I laughed. You know how bad the writing was to this movie? I forgot I was watching it, like, at the end of the movie. I'm not kidding you guys. I forgot I was watching it. I was letting the movie play, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm watching Paul Blart Mall Cop 2. I literally forgot I was watching it. That's how bad this movie is. It's literally that terrible that I forgot I was watching it. And when I'm watching a movie, I shouldn't forget I was watching it. Like, seriously, I shouldn't. That's how bad the writing is. And the writing here is only going to appeal to someone, I'd say, like, age 3. They'll laugh to this movie. No one else is going to laugh at this movie. Okay, don't take your kids to see this movie. They're not going to laugh at it. Take them to see, like, hell, take them to see, like, I don't even know. What's out that you should take your kids to see? I have no idea. Avengers, because I'm sure a lot of kids will go to that. I saw kids in my theater, so they'll probably go to that. But don't take your kids to see this, okay? This is supposed to be the big kids movie of, April, and it fucking sucks. There's nothing about this movie that's redeemable. Nothing I can recommend. Nothing I will say that I enjoyed. Nothing about this movie is good. Nothing. The writing is terrible. It's not funny, and it honestly is offensive. I think fat people would get offended by this movie, honestly. It's not funny. The first movie, it was funny because it was an interesting idea. It was an interesting idea, was funny because it was the first one, but they're just doing the same stuff they did in the first one, and it's not funny, and it's worse here. Why is it so funny that Paul Blart gets, like, punched a bunch of times in the movie? Literally, this is how they react every time that happens in the movie. Now, they don't play this sound effect, but, like, this is what they feel it is. Oh my god, someone's getting punched. Oh my god, it's so funny. Oh my god. Oh my fucking god, it's hilarious. Like, literally. That could have been played throughout the whole movie because that's how they react to the movie. Just, like, everything's just, like... That's the whole movie. They think everything is, like, the funniest thing ever, and nothing is hilarious. Nothing in this movie is funny, and just nothing's funny, okay? It's that simple. Nothing is funny. The cinematography here sucks. Cinematography is okay, I guess. The score here was okay. The editing sucks because I almost fell asleep while watching this movie. I was bored, and it's 94 minutes, and... Honestly, the worst thing about this movie are the action sequences. They're boring. They're pointless. They don't need to be in the movie. I didn't see one point for an action sequence. I'm watching the movie and I'm like, why are these action sequences in here? There's no point for them to be in this movie. No point. However, the worst part of this movie is the ending. The ending of this movie felt like a direct-to-DVD sequel. Fuck, the whole movie felt like a direct-to-DVD sequel. Besides me questioning why this movie exists, because let's think about this. Let's talk about how movies that Happy Madison made that maybe could have gotten a sequel. Let's see. What movies could have gotten a sequel that Happy Madison made? The Benchwarmers, that could have gotten a sequel. Bedtime Stories, that could have gotten a sequel. Hell, even Just Go With It or something could have gotten a sequel. Paul Blart Mall Cop 2, you literally waited 6 years to make this? This is what we get from 6 years? No, this is not what I want. And they're making a Candyland movie, and they're making a Tonka Truck movie, and if this is what Happy Madison has planned, and also, they're making a Joe Dirt 2, and it's on Crackle. That's how bad it is. It's on Crackle. Like, that just tells you your movie's gonna fail, and the movie already, like, they're already, like, this was Happy Madison, and they're like, they're just going down now, and just... They fucking suck. They're a terrible company, and let's talk about the end of this movie, because the end of this movie, literally, I'm like, what the fuck were they thinking? Okay. So Paul, of course, drops Maya off at the UCLA, at the UCLA campus, because she decides she wants to go to UCLA, just randomly in the movie, we forgot, oh yeah, that's the plot of the movie, we have to continue that. And he sees this girl, of course, and he walks over to her. And, of course, what does he do? He mentions that he's an officer, and she gives him her number. Okay, cute ending. Why the fuck did he slap a horse on the horse's ass and then cause it to kick him against his car? That's not funny. That's just weird. I'm watching the end of the movie and I'm like, what the fuck was that? Like, what the fuck was that ending? The worst, not the worst thing of the year. The worst thing of the year is still Serena, but what the fuck? That felt like an actual, I felt like I was watching a direct-to-DVD sequel. What the fuck was that? It wasn't funny. It was stupid. Nothing about this movie is funny. It's stupid. And I shouldn't question why a movie exists. So, if you guys can't tell, I hate this movie. I hate this movie 0.5 out of 5, or an F-. Literally, that's when I give a movie a 0.5, I give it an F-. That's what I'm giving this movie. It sucks. There's nothing redeemable about it. There's nothing I ever want. I do not want a Paul Blart Mall Cop 3. If there is, I'm going to be very, very pissed if there's a Paul Blart Mall Cop 3. This movie has 0% on Rotten Tomatoes. It now has a 6%. It deserves that 0%. It didn't need to go to 6%. Keep it at 0. I would have been fine with that. This movie deserves it. It's probably the worst sequel I've ever seen in my life. Honestly, it is. The writing's lazy, the acting's not funny, it's all rehashed from the first one, it's all a bunch of fat jokes, there's nothing funny about it, and there's nothing I can look back and say I actually enjoyed about this movie. So overall, guys, this movie fucking sucks. Don't watch it. It's terrible, it's not funny, it's stupid, and I hated almost every minute of it. Pretty much everything about it. But that's it for this epic rant. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you guys saw this movie if you have seen it. I can't believe I actually just fucking watched this thing. Oh my god. And we'll see you guys in my next video, which will be something that's much better than this. It'll definitely be for Outlander, and hopefully that's good, because I don't want to suffer through shit like this, honestly. Don't make a third one. I swear to fucking God, don't make a third one. We were good at one. We didn't even need a second one. But please, if you know what's good for you, do not make a third one. Just don't.